What's going on, guys? All right, so I appreciate all your responses as far as like what kind of pre-workout you guys take. As you guys can see, every pre-workout is not made the same. They're all made very differently. They all have different things. They all promise different things. So I wanted to kind of cover really quick what the three most important things you guys should look for in a pre-workout. These are some of my top recommendations. These are some of the three things I take by themselves, and I mix it in a Gatorade Zero or a flavored drink full of electrolytes that I would take before a workout. But these three things you need to be able to find in your pre-workout when you're taking a look at the label on the back. That's why I asked the question, well, what's in it? Don't just take shit for the sake of taking shit because your buddy said it works great. So three things you guys need to keep in mind. One of them, the first thing you should have is branched chain amino acids. Those branched chain amino acids should be leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Those three, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And they should be in there in a 2-to-1-to-1 ratio or 3-1-to-1 ratio. Okay? Meaning 3 parts or 3 times as much leucine, 2 to 3 times as much leucine as isoleucine and as valine. So the amount of isoleucine and valine should be the same. Leucine should be 2 to 3 times as much of each one of those. Now, you hear a lot that you don't really need to take branched chain amino acids if you're eating enough animal protein. That's the truth. But when you're using it as a pre-workout, it's going to help combat muscular fatigue. So the muscles are actually using it to help prevent muscular fatigue. And this is going to be extremely important when you're trying to lift weights to lose fat mass and not necessarily gain muscle mass. So trying to prevent muscular fatigue is going to be extremely important for that aspect. So that's why you want to make sure the number one thing is branched chain amino acids. The number two thing you need to look for in your pre-workout is going to be beta-alanine, or the itchy, that stuff that you take and it makes your skin tingle, all right? It makes your face tingle. That's called beta-alanine. That stuff is great because it also helps blunt muscular fatigue. Now, the thing about this is you can't just take it one time, not take it the next day, and expect for it to work the same way. It actually does not work the first time you take it. You have to have it in your system for up to almost 2 weeks consistently before beta-alanine actually begins to work the way it should. So you have to create a buildup. My recommendation is that pre-workout has anywhere from 2 to 4 grams per serving of beta-alanine. Branched chain amino acids should have anywhere from 5 to 10 grams per serving in that pre-workout. But beta-alanine, 2 to 4 grams per serving. Okay, and on the days that you don't work out and you're not going to take that pre-workout, I recommend you purchase beta-alanine by itself, unflavored. You can buy it on Amazon. NutraKey is a great brand that carries it unflavored. Throw it in an electrolyte drink on the days you don't work out. So that way it's built up into your system. It's something you're going to have to take every day, 2 to 4 grams of it on a daily basis. So branched chain amino acids, beta-alanine, okay, 1 and 2. Number 3 is going to be creatine monohydrate. This is like by far my number one supplement, the number one most researched supplement in the market. No matter how much of it you take, there are 0 negative effects of it. They have tested it time and time again. You should have anywhere from 5 to 10 grams per serving of creatine. Now, the thing with creatine is it works like beta-alanine. It helps prevent muscular fatigue. So you got these 3 things that really help muscular fatigue, help you push those extra reps. But creatine also has to be built up into the system. So you can't just take it only when you're taking a pre-workout and then the day you don't take a pre-workout, expect for it to work the same way. So beta-alanine and creatine are not going to work if you're not taking them on a daily basis on a regular time. So you actually can buy like the creatine, like the brand I work with, Driven Nutrition, sells creatine micronized, very, very fine powder by itself. 1 scoop is 5 grams. You can take that on the days you don't take your pre-workout. Put it into things like Gatorade Zero. That's what I like doing on the days I don't work out, and mix it up in there. And then you end up having, stack it in there with beta-alanine on your non-workout days. You're going to feel it hitting your system, but it's not going to give you a stimulant rush. There's no stimulants with those 3 things. Now, the beauty behind creatine is it needs to have your insulin level spike up for it to transport it into the muscular system. So the beauty behind it is leucine from the branched chain amino acids elevates insulin levels, and this is what's going to help transport the beta alanine and transport creatine into the muscles. So branched chain amino acid, beta alanine, and creatine should be your top 3 things that your pre-workout should have.